Hey Railbirds, welcome back to the third annual Battle of the Bull. This is the 9-ball division. This is a B-side match, meaning someone will be going home after this match. We have Edward Koyongian, I am sorry if I am butchering his name, from Indonesia versus Marc Bijsterbosch from the Netherlands. 832 Fargo rate versus 788. We are going to see some top level pool. This is going to be a good match. In fact, it's kind of hard to believe both of these players are on the B side. So let's see how they got here. Edward lost his first round to Louis DeMarco, 9-4. Wow. Then his second round, Edward beat Matthew Edwards 9-3. And now here we are. His opponent, Marc Bijsterbosch. He won his first match versus Yi Chang, 9-7. Then he lost his second match on the A side to Loho Sum, 9-5. So that's how these players got here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your host, Kevin Ross. I'm so glad you chose to join us today. This is a World 9-Ball Tour points event. We are playing WNT 9-ball rules. 9-ball will be racked on the spot, be breaking from the break box, playing winner break, and the 2-ball must be racked either as the back ball or one of the wing balls. So some clarification on the rules for the racking of the 2-ball. I was mistaken yesterday. I thought I heard them say it had to be one of the back 3 balls, but that was incorrect. The 2-ball must be racked in one of 3 positions, either the 2 wing positions or at the very back. All right, here we go. Here's Marc at the table. In case you're wondering what he was pointing to up there, there's a tablet over each table for scoring. So he's just resetting the score, hitting the start button, and here we go. All right, 1 ball straight in the side. And, well, he does have a shot on the 2 to the side. It's going to be jacked up over the 3. Not an easy shot to start with for sure. If he doesn't like it, he can try to just play safe behind this 8 ball, roll the cue ball up on the 8. It does look like that's what he's doing, playing the safety. Nicely done. All right, brings Edward to the table. Edward, one of the top players from Indonesia. Well, I should say with an 832 Fargo rate, he's one of the top players in the world. I don't need to qualify it by limiting that to just Indonesia. Wow, no hit. Ball in hand. All right, 2 to the 3, no problem. 3 to the 4, no problem. 5 ball. Could be an issue. If he has the cue ball like where he's pointing now, you know, you'll have the angle to come down under the 5 to either shoot the 5 up table or even go to the end rail and come up and bump the 5, depending on how much angle he actually has on the 4. So, interesting, the Fargo Rate website has Edward as a 794, but on the tournament bracket they have it listed as 832, so I'm not sure where the discrepancy is coming from. Regardless, he's 800, approximately 800 plus player, so he can play. Whether it's 794 or 832, he's a player. Interesting choice that he chose to come up and bump it because he was fairly straight on the 4. He could have just stunned over to shoot the 5 up table. So that choice may cost him here. Looks like he may be forced to play safe now. Well, a little bit of a two-way shot. It's good thinking, but this does leave a pretty makeable jump shot for Edward. The fact that he isn't at the table yet tells me he's probably putting together his jump cue right now. Alright, here we go. Edward with the jump shot. Is he going to get him hooked? He has. All right. Jump shot for Marc. All right, nice jump shot. Is this going to come all the way over for a 7-9 combo? Sort of, not really. He might be able to play a little bit of a two-way shot. If he plays the 7-9 combo, the 7 should stay in that vicinity, possibly trying to get the cue ball up table behind the 8. But usually when you try to play those kinds of two-way shots, you kind of lose focus on the combination itself, and most people will say just put all of your effort on making the combination or all of your effort on making the safety. And he's kind of going back and forth a little bit here. Alright, he's playing safe, and that's not going to work. That's not going to do the... Well, I don't think he's left a shot, but it is a pretty easy hit, pretty easy safety here. He did leave the shot on. Okay. A little bit of a tester on this 9 to the side. Fires it in though. Nice stroke, nice shot. Edward taking the first game, 1-0 in this race to 9. This is winner break format. So, chat wants to know, where is Edward from? He's from Indonesia. Looks like AZ Billiards says he's from Jakarta. All right, here we go. Edward with the break. All right, one ball straight in the side. Got good action on the 9, and he's gonna have a shot on the 2. He's got a good spread on the balls. He does have a shot on the 2. Not the easiest of shots to the side pocket, but it is a shot. 3 balls right there. Doesn't have to do much with the cue ball. Perfect. Looks like he might be starting to loosen up a little. That first game he was looking a little tentative, but Looks like he might be starting to loosen up. Nice shot, good position. Yeah, he's kind of landed in that 50-yard line territory. Handled it with ease. Alright, he's got perfect angle to come down for the 9. So yeah, there's a little discrepancy in the chat about Edward's Frogger rate. The Frogger rate website currently has him as 792, which normally you're going to see a little bit of a variation from day to day, week to week. It's going to fluctuate a few points, but in this case there's about a 40-point difference, so it's kind of a big discrepancy. But Edward only has about 700 games of robustness in the system, so when you don't have a lot of games, it's going to fluctuate even more. Alright, kick shot for Marc. Oh, nice little bump. That works. One. So the Pongers brothers making a nice run at this tournament. We had both of the brothers on our stream now, and both of the brothers have put in a pretty nice performance. And are we on player break already? Marc just walked off. All right, here he comes. Oh, I see the problem. There's a problem with the tablet over the table. So Zach Goldsmith from Digital Pool is on site to take care of it. There. Have a look, see what Zach's doing here over the table. Do we have a dead tablet? Oh, there it is. It's coming to life. There we go. The score is currently 1-1. Alright, there we go. All set. Alright, again, one ball straight in the side and good action on the 9. And he's going to have a nice shot on this 2 to start with. Can't tell the angle he has. He may be forced to play like short side on the 3. Hard to tell. Can't really tell unless you're at the table. Might be able to come a couple rails around for the 3 in that upper left corner. It's hard to tell. Let's see what Marc does. No, he is playing short side. Okay, he wants a bounce. He wants a bounce. Well, a little bigger than that would have been nice. He's got to get to this 4 ball, which is down here at the bottom next to the 5. Oh, inside English. Fancy. Nice shot. '80s music continuing to play in the room. It's 80s day today. Now we're hearing the Miami Sound Machine. All right, Marc takes a 2-1 lead. Nice break and run. Yeah, Marc has kind of a resemblance to Albin Ocean a little bit. All right, here we go. Marc with the break. 1 ball straight in the side. Movement on the 9 again. And he's going to be perfect on this 2 ball. 3 balls right there. 4 ball. Well, 4 balls has options. But I would say Marc is really getting his break dialed in. I can't tell if that 4 goes to the upper left corner past the 8. If it does, then this is absolutely perfect. If not, he's got some work to do. Looks like it might have half a pocket. He's playing for the side pocket, so the 4 does not pass the 8. Mark looking very comfortable out here running these balls. He wouldn't have minded if the cue ball rolled just a little bit more, but he'll be okay. All right, another break and run from Marc Bijsterbosch. I think that's 2 racks in a row. Or was that 3? When the score was 1-0, Edward hung the 8 in the corner. Mark kicked it in. And has Edward been to the table since then? Yeah, that made it 1-1. And then Mark has run the next 2 racks after that. Okay, yeah. So he kicked in that 8 when it was 1-0, and then he's run the next 2 racks. All right. I would say he's got his break dialed in. 1 ball flies into the side pocket. He's got a shot on the 2. Not as easy as the last couple games. Just looking at where that cue ball is going to end up if he cuts this to this bottom left corner. Oh, just overcut. And yeah, he was pointing over there, but he overcut the 2. Had he hit the 2 ball a little fuller to make the 2 ball, then that would have changed the path of the cue ball, and I think it would have ended up over there where he pointed. So first time we've seen Edward at the table in a couple games. And all right. Just a little simple but effective safety. Oh, interesting. He's going up table to kick at this. That's unexpected. Okay, good hit. Gonna try to shoot this 2-up table and bring this cue ball back down to this bottom rail. Hey, down in front, we can't see. Well, he's let him see the 2. And does the 2 pass the 6? getting down awfully fast. Maybe it does pass the 6. No, okay. Alright, nice little hit and stick safety. I just let him see the 2, but he's put a lot of distance and no easy shot for Mark. He may have left a shot to the side here. Definitely to the corner, if not the side. I think he can see this too, unless the screen is playing tricks on me. Yeah, I thought he could see the 2. That's a nice shot. When the score was 1-0, Edward was moving around the table with a bit more fluidity and a bit more confidence. Now he's kind of back to that kind of more tentative style again, but he's getting the job done. He's picking his way through this rack. Alright, Edward taking advantage of that missed safety by Mark. Runs these balls out. Gets a game back, 3-2. In this race to 9, and he'll be breaking. So they lost the template racket. Somehow that ended up at the other end of the table. All right, all 9 9 balls successfully racked. Edward with the break. All right, 1 ball straight in the side. 2 balls going to come around. Is that 8 ball going to spoil the party? It sure is. Edward forced to push out. Yeah, if it wasn't for that 8 ball covering up the 3, this would be a no-brainer for Mark. You would just cut this 2 in and you would have a good shot on the 3. But because that 8 is covering up the 3, he's not even going to try it. He's just passed it right back to Edward. Is Edward going to go with this? Or is he going to bank it? He's banking, playing the safety. And he's got it. He's got the safety. Is he going to this right side rail with draw, trying to bend this cue ball? That's what it looks like. That is what he was doing. Didn't quite get enough bend. Alright, ball in hand for Edward. Now, what are we doing with this 3 ball? Is he going to try to run into this? Is he going to try to break it out? Is he going to try to get behind it for to play another safety? What's Edward have in mind? All right, he was going for the bump, and the 3-9 isn't lined up dead, but I do think he's going to go for this because he has to cut the 9, and the 3 ball is going to be coming down, you know, towards the 5, and the cue ball is going to be going up table. So it's, I'm not going to say it's a free shot, no such thing against these great players, but has a somewhat of a built-in safe. You're going to be leaving distance anyway. Well, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing the jump cue here. Good hit by Edward. No movement on the 9. He's left distance for Mark. Alright. Is he going to have a shot? Oh, barely. It stopped just in time. Problem is being able to reach it. Someone walk off with all the bridges? Alright, that's perfect. Just wants a little bit of angle, and that's perfect. All right, Mark walking around the table with a nice pep in his step, looking very comfortable at the table, shooting with confidence. 4-2. And NJ Pool Player, no, we are not on location. We are doing this remotely. Alright, 1 ball straight in, got a lot of movement on the 9, and this 2 ball is going to sit up right in front of that side pocket. 3 balls right down here. This looks very juicy indeed. Yeah, no major problems this rack. 3 to the 5, not really that big a problem. 6 to the 7, as long as you're on the right angle on the 6, that won't be too big of an issue. I definitely look for him to run these out. It's just about making sure you get good angle on the 5. You don't really want to end up straight. You don't want to be too thin. So 3 of the 5, this might be the key shot. And this will do. I mean, it's a little flat on the 5 because you'd like to be able to shoot the 6 in the same pocket as the 5. No, he had plenty of angles. The screen playing tricks on me again, and this is perfect angle on the 6 to get to the 7. So, yeah, he was perfect on that. No issues at all. Little bounce, has a nice angle on the 7, draw back for the 8. Yeah, if he can break like that every game, you're going to be pretty darn hard to stop, especially in this winter break format. Interesting, playing for the corner there. But you can shoot as good as he does. Doesn't really matter. 5-2 in this race to 9. And yeah, if he can keep breaking like he did there, well, if he could keep breaking like that, then Edward might not even get back to the table this set. But yeah, that was a really nice break. Let's see if he can keep it going. Oh, cue ball. Oh no. All right, good opportunity for Edward. All right, key shot here, 5 to the 6. If he gets good on this 6, then he should be out. And this looks pretty good. How big is the bounce? Get out of the way, we can't see. Eh, this will do. As long as he gets on the 7, he'll be good. 8 ball's hanging in front of the side. So make this 6, get good on the 7, and you're golden. That'll do. That'll do. All right, Edward's starting to move around the table with a little bit more determination this time. Runs those out with ball in hand, 3-5, and his break. Hey, if you guys have been enjoying our coverage of the 3rd annual Battle of the Bull, do us a favor, hit that thumbs up. Give us a subscribe, ring that bell. We'd really appreciate it. It does help out the channel. It really does. Thank you. All right, here we go. Edward with the break. All right, 1 ball straight in the side, and is he going to have a shot at this 2? Is everything going to get out of the way? He does have a shot at the 2. Go to the upper right corner, draw to that left side rail, back out, He'll have a shot at the 3 to the bottom right. And then from there, it gets a little tricky. Diva wants to know what match is up next. After this, we are going back to the A side. The tournament is going back to the A side. Right now they're playing all B side matches, but starting at 5 o'clock they're going back to playing A side matches. So I don't know. I haven't looked at the bracket yet to see what match we're going to pick, but you guys have a look at the bracket and tell me what you want to watch. We can choose any match that isn't in the Bull Carbon Arena. That's the feature table. That one's off limits to us, but we can choose any other match. So tell us what you guys want to see. Oh, and the link to the bracket is in the description. Oh no. Is he gonna get away with it? I don't think he is. I think he's left a shot. Alright, the way he's not really liking this too much, either because he doesn't have a straight shot or he doesn't think he can hold the cue ball for the 5. I'm not sure which it is. It might be he doesn't think he can hold the cue ball for the 5. Although if he shoots us with bottom right, that will kill the cue ball pretty well. But he's not liking it. So he thinks the cue ball is going to go all the way over there. So it must be more angle in person than it looks on screen. Alright, looks like he's just rolling this with a high ball, and that will let the cue ball run. Seems like if he shoots this with bottom right, that'll kill the cue ball pretty well. But yeah, he's at the table, not me. Plus, his frog rate is about 100 points higher than mine, so I should be quiet. So one possible match for the 5 o'clock round: Payne McBride versus Johan Chua. Oh, nice using the 5 ball. Well done, Mark. 3 o'clock Mountain Time? Yes, that is correct. 5 Eastern, 4 Central, 3 Mountain, 2 Pacific. (10 p.m. London time, or thereabouts. Wow. Nobody expected that miss, including Mark. And nobody saw that miss coming. I think it was just a case of kind of just taking your eye off the ball, maybe concentrating on position on the 6 and forgetting to make the 5. You know, the kind of silly mistake that we all make. Just Just shows these top players are human too. Except for Federer, he's not human. That ball wobbled a little. It didn't have to drop. All right, Edward taking advantage. Closes that gap to within 1. Trails 4-5 in this race to 9. So if you want to be able to watch every match from the tournament, you can watch all the current matches, you can watch them live, you can watch pre-recorded all the past matches, including the main arena feature table. You can watch all of it by going to the Digital Pool pay-per-view site. The link is in the description. If you use our coupon code in the description by clicking on the link, you'll get $5 off. Alright, dry break for Edward. Does Marc have a shot on this one to the side? Oh, he got down awfully quick, so this one must go. Oh yeah. Marc might be feeling a little salty about that miss on that last rack. He's not gonna let a silly mistake like that happen again. He's come up maybe a tad short on the angle here. May brush the 9 with this draw a little. No, he's able to avoid the 9, no problem. Like I said, these angles on screen, they can be so deceiving. All right, nice run out there by Marc on Edward's dry break, 6-4, and breaking. one ball straight in the side. Unfortunately, no look whatsoever at this two ball. He doesn't even have a kick at it, so he will be forced to push out. Question is, where do you push out? Do you push out to a jump? Push out near that upper right corner? Where are we pushing out? Oh, pushing out to the long straight in cue ball on the rail where it'll be impossible to get on the three. Okay. So obviously you're not shooting the two. If anything, you'd be playing safe off the two. And he says, nope, not interested. So Mark's going to be the one to play safe off the two. And... oh, is he going to scratch? All right, good choice by Edward to pass it back. I mean, he didn't know that that was going to happen, but turns out it was a good decision to pass it back. All right, so I'm just looking ahead. I'm looking ahead in the rack a little bit at this 6 ball. So he's got 3 ball, 4, and then 5 ball. And he's going to have to come up with a nice angle on this 5 to drift over between that 6-9 for the 6-up table. So key shot right here. He's got a good angle on this 4 to go forward 2 rails. High right spin, come right into the angle of the 5. And that should maintain your angle to come over for the 6. That actually looks pretty good. Pert near perfect. That's perfect. Nicely done. Yeah, he was hoping to get a slightly bigger bounce than that. He can tell by his body language when that cue ball came off the rail. Is like, ugh, more please. But he'll be all right. Slow down, cue ball. Well, this just got a little tricky. Where's this cue ball going when he cuts this 8 in? Is he gonna have to? Does he have to play short side on the 9? Or am I seeing this angle wrong? Okay, I'm seeing the angle wrong. You didn't have to do that. Okay. Thin cut for the win. And there it is. All right, Edward getting back within 1 again. Trails 5-6 in this race to 9. There, here we go, Edward with the break. Oh, I think that's the first time he's missed the one on the side. Actually, no, he's broke dry before. That's not the first. But he does leave a shot at this one. Marc can go up and down table, 2-ball in the side. Yeah, position on the 2 is actually really tricky because you have to have just if you're gonna play for the side pocket, then you have to have just the right angle to come for the 3, and this is the wrong angle, I think. Yeah, he's going the wrong way. He's going away from the 3. That's why it's so tricky to play position on side pockets. That's why Bert Kinnister liked to say side pockets are for suckers, but I'm not going to call these guys suckers, but I get the point he's trying to make. Alright. Looks like he's pretty well back in line now. Well, he would have liked a little less angle on this 4. But I think he'll handle it. He can draw bottom left up above the 7. Yeah, that 6 does pass to the bottom right, so he can just draw straight back, come off the rail, take a slightly longer shot on the 6, and he'll be fine. Put some spin on it just to get a little closer. It's okay, I thought it was going to die a little bit sooner than that. It kind of just barely got there. Alright, Marc Bijsterbosch runs those out. Nice run out, 7-5. Race to 9 and his break. And we are playing winner break, by the way. I'm your host, Kevin Ross. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We're glad to have you. Next round is at 5 o'clock, and that's going to be a winner's side match. One ball down, 2 ball down. Is he looking at playing safe on the 3 or a 3-5 combo? I can't tell what he's lining up. Probably safe. 3 ball, 1 rail up table. Oh, this cue ball get in over here underneath this. Oh, so close. Hello, Jamie Moody in the chat. Says the laptop screen is way better than the phone. Hold the phone closer to your face and it's like you're watching on the big screen. Alright, he's trying to get the safety behind the 4, and is he going to get there? Oh, yes he is. Nice touch. Alright, he's looking at a jump billiard, or jump carom. And hope everything stays on the table. Well, except the 6 ball, but yeah, hope the cue ball stays on the table. Alright, good hit. And is he going to get a safety out of it? Is he going to get behind the 5? Nope. Alright. Opportunity for Edward. Tough shot on the 3, but fortunately, position on the 4 is going to be pretty automatic. If he just rolls his 3 in, he'll have a shot on the 4 to that left side pocket. Just a bit outside. Marc immediately lining up this bank shot. Yeah, he's not super in love with the bank. He's looking at the safety now. Well, the 4 ball was there to help out. That worked out. Good hit. Unfortunately, that is going to leave a shot for Marc. A pretty makeable shot. Up 1 rail for the 4. 5-9 combo. And Marc will be on the hill. I don't think this is quite the angle he's wanting on the 4. This is going to be a little thin. Not ideal. This just got a lot harder. mean, this 4 still cuts. I mean, even if he shoots it soft, he's going to have more distance on this 5-9 than he wanted. Overcut it. Opportunity for Edward. Yeah, this is a little bit do or die because I don't think there's a built-in safety here if you miss this. If you miss, you're probably going to leave a 5-9 return. So the solution to that is just make sure you don't miss. Nice shot. Within 1. Edward with the break. He's been breaking pretty good too. I mean, he has been making the 1 in the side pretty regularly. He has had a couple dry breaks though. Oh no. It was a good break too, but maybe that 8-9 is tied up. I think that 8-9 might be tied up unless the 8-9 is wired to this bottom right corner. Let's see, what's the ball before the 8? The 6. From the 6, can you get to the left side to shoot the 8 in that upper right corner? Yeah, I think so. I think that 8 goes to the upper right corner, so I'm going to be using the 6 to get there. So yeah, I think this is doable for definitely for a player of Marc's caliber. It's probably a little thinner on this 5 than he wanted. Just makes getting, the perfect angle in at 6 just a little bit more difficult. Because he has to use the 6 to get to, well, either to that left side of the 8 to shoot the 8 in that upper right corner, or possibly to get all the way up table, like near that upper left corner to shoot the 8-9 combo to the bottom right. Those are the two main options that I see, at least for an offensive shot. Oh, this is perfect angle. Perfect angle to get over to that 8. So there's a question in the chat about illegal breaks. So they are not playing with any type of point rule for the break. You don't have to send a certain number of balls past the head string or anything like that. Is he straight in and on the rail? Maybe forced to roll forward and shoot the 9 in the side. It's hard to tell what angle he has, if any. Or roll forward and shoot the 9 in the corner. Okay. Marc Bijsterbosch on the hill and breaking. And he's been breaking pretty good. In fact, he's had a couple of breaks that were fantastic. So if he continues that, then Edward very well might not get to the table again. All right, Marc with his final break of the match. One ball straight in the side, cue ball straight in the other side. Just what Edward needed. And look at this wide open layout. Ball in hand. This is exactly the kind of layout you want with ball in hand, especially when your opponent's on the hill. Yeah, if Edward runs these out, breaks and runs the next game, it'll be 8-8 with Edward breaking. I mean, that scratch on the break right there could conceivably cost Marc this match. Whoops. This is okay if he can reach it. If he gets to shoot this with the bridge, it's definitely missable. Okay, he's going to use an extension. All right, center of the hole, no problem. 8-7. Well, we got quite the back and forth game here. Edward with the break. If he puts down a good break and runs these out, he's on the hill. Double hill and breaking. Remember, this is a B-side match. This is an elimination round. Someone's going home. Someone's going home. This is an early round in the tournament, so that means no money. Expensive trip. A lot on the line here. All right, Edward with the break. Let's watch that one ball. One ball straight in, two balls straight in. Is he going to have a shot on the 3? Yes, he is. Wow, look at this break. Like I said, if he puts down a good break, and he has, and if he runs these out, he hasn't yet, but he's got a good chance to. 8-8 with Edward breaking. Mark's not going to be feeling so comfortable over there with his scratch on the break a couple games ago. That's a nice little opening shot. So do you follow 2 rails out here? Leave yourself an angle on the 5 to come 2 rails back around for the 6. Okay, he was able to end up near straight in on the 5, so actually that's just about dead straight, so he's going to be playing short-sided on the 6, shooting the 6 up table, which is not a problem. The 6 is off the rail. Off the rail. A little slow roll there on the 6. I thought he might punch that ball a little bit and maybe put the 7 to the corner, but this is very nice. Nicely done. Get off the rail, leave some angle. That'll do. That'll do. Eight and Edward breaking. Yeah, I said 2 games ago that that scratch on the break by Mark could conceivably cost him the match, and it's looking a lot more likely that that could be the case. Hill. Well, we love a good close match, don't we? This was definitely hard fought by both players. A lot of back and forth. Neither player played perfect. Each player had some good runouts. Each player made some mistakes they might not normally make. But it's been hard fought. 8-8. Edward with the break. Here we go. For all the marbles, this is an elimination match. The loser of this game goes home. Or on to the next tournament, I should say. All right, 1 ball straight in, 7 ball straight in. And does he have a shot on this 3? I think the 3 goes past the 9. Not an easy shot. You may choose to just cinch this 3, let the cue ball go back and forth, leaving the cue ball about where the 3 is now for the long shot on the 4. I don't necessarily think he's going to try shooting this with any like right spin to try to move the cue ball back up table. Tough opening shot, especially on Hill. Especially with only 3/4 of a pocket to shoot at. A lot of pressure on this shot. This is definitely the kind of shot that shows what you're made of. And that's probably what I would have done. With a similar outcome. That's definitely what I would have done. I definitely would have sold the farm. Yep, shot it like I would have. Whoopsie. Alright, not the easiest of shots for Mark to start with on a Hill game. You know, if the score was 0-0, this would be a hanger. Well, it's 8-8 and all the pressure of going out of the tournament rides on this shot. That pocket shrinks up quite a bit. Well, he made the 3. He's ended up, looks like, pretty straight on this 4. Can he follow 2 rails? Yeah, I can't see the angle that he has, if any. He's drawing. What a shot. Good, clean pocket of the 4. Not letting the pressure get to him. That's perfect. If he gets good on this 8. And that's gonna be it. What a hard-fought match this was by both players. As I said, neither player played perfect. We had some good racks, had some good runouts, some good safety battles, and each player had a mistake or 2 that they might not normally make. But it was a good match. Congratulations, Marc Bijsterbosch. He does continue in the tournament. That does eliminate Edward Koyongian. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. It does eliminate Edward from this tournament. Good match, guys, and we will be back in about 35 minutes for the 5 o'clock round. We are going to be back to the A-side matches. So we will see you then. I'm Kevin Ross with Railbirds TV. Thank you guys for watching. See ya.